say something. I want to see if they can hear you.
Can you hear me?
We've got you, Councillor Donovan. Thank you.
Okay, perfect.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this session of Quispamsis Town Council, the first one for 2025. And on behalf of Council, I would like to wish everyone a happy and healthy 2025. I hope that everyone enjoyed the holiday season and enjoyed some outdoor fun at that time. I'm excited to see what the new year is going to bring to Quispamsis, as I'm sure you are. Right now, we are celebrating Fundy Winterfest 2025, which is an event where people celebrate and embrace winter as an opportunity to connect across generations, communities, classes, and culture. The 6 communities, consisting of Quispamsis, Rothesay, Hampton, St. John, Grand Bay Westfield, and Fundy St. Martin's, welcome you to participate in winter initiatives that empower everyone, including our most vulnerable residents, to be active this winter. Find your hats and your mitts. You won't want to miss out on this regional winter experience. Fundy Winterfest is now on and runs until March 9th. For information on events in Quispamsis, visit quispamsis.ca and click on the events calendar or visit our Facebook page. You can also follow Fundy Winterfest on Facebook for information of events around the region. After a stretch of milder weather, our region was hit with a lot of snow between Sunday night and midday on Monday. A reminder that winter still is 2 months to go, or we still have 2 months to go. The conditions sometimes make it challenging for snowplows to operate safely and effectively. We appreciate your understanding as our operators work to clear streets and sidewalks as efficiently as possible. Please avoid playing or socializing near roadways in order to keep yourself safe during snow removal operations. The first term is wrapping up for high schoolers in our area. And on behalf of Council, I would like to wish everyone good luck on their exams as they prepare for the second half of the school year. With that in mind, Quispamsis has 3 $750 scholarships to be awarded to graduating students attending high school in 2025. Students must be residents of Quispamsis and meet other criteria to be considered. The town's scholarship committee will select the recipients. Applications are available at quispamsis.ca by selecting the Applications and Forms tab under the Town Government menu. The deadline for applications is June 1st. This week, I was pleased to join our CAO, Ian Watson, and Director of Community Services, Dana Purton-Dixon, in representing Quispamsis at a meeting to discuss a bid for the 2029 Canada Games. St. John and Moncton are submitting a joint bid for the Games, and Quispamsis would host some events if the bid is successful. We are proud to be part of the bid process and hopeful that the eyes of the country will be focused on our region for this extraordinary national event in 4 years' time. Finally, I would like to thank Deputy Mayor Scryer and her organizing committee for their hard work in planning International Women's Day ceremonies in the Kennebecasis Valley. After 16 years, the members of the organizing committee have retired from their duties. As such, there will not be an International Women's Day ceremony in Quispamsis or Rothesay this year. Deputy Mayor Scryer, thank you very much. You brought this to the community and I think probably to New Brunswick, and it has gone off in such a wonderful way and was well attended by people from around the entire region. And I think at one time we even had 120 people registered, so that is absolutely astounding. So thank you for all that you did in that line. And with that, we will move forward on tonight's agenda. I am looking for an approval of the agenda, please. Deputy Mayor Scryer, seconded by Councillor Bigger. All those in favor, please vote now. Motion carried 7-0. Treaty acknowledgement and moment of reflection. We would like to respectfully acknowledge that Quispamsis exists on the traditional territory of the Wolastoqey, Maliseet, and Mi'kmaq people, whose ancestors with the Passamaquoddy tribes signed peace and friendship agreements and treaties with the British Crown in the 1700s. We would like to take a moment to pay respect to the elders past and present and the descendants of the traditional territory. And may we remind ourselves of the important work we have before us tonight. May we make good decisions without prejudice or bias and always in the best interest of our community, which we are here to serve. Looking for any disclosure of interests? Seeing none. Presentations. We just received an email that the gentleman who was going to present this evening, his flight was delayed, so he is not able to be here tonight. So that will be postponed. I think there is if you have updated or refreshed your agenda, I believe there's a new motion.
Second motion there.
Councillor Thompson, please.
Your worship, I would move as Bill Zakaria is unable to attend this evening, this item be postponed to the regular meeting in February.
Thank you, Councillor Thompson. Moved by Councillor Thompson, seconded by Councillor Bigger. Please, on the question, please vote now.
Councillor Miller.
Councillor Miller. Thank you. Motion carried 7-0. Item number 6 is public hearings. We have none. Item number 7, minutes of the previous meeting. Deputy Mayor Scryer.
Your worship, I move the minutes that be approved as prepared.
It's been moved by Deputy Mayor Scryer, seconded by Councillor Bigger. On the question, please vote now. Thank you. Motion carried 7-0. Unfinished business. Item 8A, Consumer Fireworks Review, requested information regarding plebiscites, staff report, and town clerk. From the town clerk. There is a motion. Councillor Olson.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'd move that council accept option 2, authorize staff to submit to Elections New Brunswick a question to be placed on the ballot at the next municipal election dated May 11th, 2026.
It's been moved by Councillor Olson. Councillor Thompson, seconded. On the question. Councillor Bigger, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. I certainly appreciate the work the ad hoc committee did on this. I know they met many times and sought to find consensus amongst the members of the committee and review various, publications of, sentiment around fireworks. I think even well beyond our immediate region and even out across the country. But I'm not a fan of creating plebiscites and putting them on a ballot. I just fundamentally feel that maybe this is a result of coming to sort of an impasse on the subject. And I don't know if there's someone who was on the ad hoc committee that would like to speak to that, who could better speak to it than me. But I just fundamentally don't feel that it really represents leadership the way that I would like to. And that's by no means to try to say that anyone's trying to shirk their responsibility, but I just worry that this is the result of coming to an impasse, not that we actually imagine that it's the right direction to go in. So I'll be voting against this motion, but I welcome any comments that anyone else might have that could give me a little more insight as to how they arrived at this. Thanks. I did read the staff report previously about this as well, but nevertheless, thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Miller. Councillor Luck, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'm not sure if, both myself and the mayor were on the fireworks committee. I'm not sure if I can address that, but that's actually not why I had my button pressed. But Councillor Bigger, you are correct. It was really, at the end of the day, we were at an impasse where, based on evidence, based on feedback, the committee really couldn't put our stake in the sand and say one way or the other. And I guess the group ultimately, because we made a motion to move forward with this, is, ultimately we felt that if we brought it to the people and we could let the people decide, because again, there's so much controversy. And I think historically it's been, we continue to kind of kick it down the road where, it comes up as an issue, we look at it, and then we kind of say, well, we have a bylaw, and then an issue comes up again. So we felt that, something needed to be done, but, I guess the committee ultimately decided that having a plebiscite would be the ideal, because we have an election coming up. And as long as it's a well-worded, valid question, so we don't have questions around, the interpretation of how it's asked, it would provide us with the concrete information that once and for all we need to say yay or nay when it comes to a bylaw, just because it's all over the map in terms of what municipalities are doing. So I guess the other thing I had my question or my button pressed for was just, I know that the motion is commenting on or the option 2 is talking about submitting a well-worded question. And I guess just one, question I had was, survey design is a specialty in and of itself. And I would just want to make sure that whatever question we end up with is kind of tested for reliability and validity to make sure that we don't have any questions after the fact, after we put all this work into it, that people start questioning, oh, well, that's not really how I understood it. Only historically, I've had other things prior to me being on council that has come out that I've, just questioned when, there's surveys going out where I've been a resident filling them out and going, this isn't clear enough that I don't know which way to answer. So anyway, that's just my 2 cents. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Luck. I would say that the question would be fairly simple to say, do you want fireworks banned in Quispamsis? Either yes or no. That would be what I would suggest the question would be. I don't think there'd be any room for lack of clarity with that. We'll make sure that it doesn't have a negative component to it, as any vote should not have a negative component to it. I felt that, when this comes before, or these types of things come before council, they are extremely challenging, very difficult to decide which way we're going to go. We go with our hearts, we go with the policies and so forth, and we go with, sometimes the people who may complain the loudest or the most or how, whatever. We had, significant information brought by the police, brought by the fire department. Our own CAO had some historical data from the province of New Brunswick. And based on that, I would say that I would prefer that council, when given the task of making a decision, that we do make those at the council table rather than on plebiscites. I feel that's why we were elected, but I'm going to leave it for whatever or however councillor sees it. Any further questions? Councillor Bigger.
Yeah, sorry to take a second bite at the apple, but Your Worship, but yeah, I think that what you describe as a possible question to be placed for simple language, I agree, clear, simple language in something like that should be kind of the watchword, should be the thing that we're trying to achieve. But therein lies the problem as well, because we could say, do you want fireworks banned? Well, does that mean the sale of fireworks as well? Does that, and we as a council, and certainly the ad hoc committee, has received information, as you point out, from our emergency response providers, police and fire both. And if we have a plebiscite and the majority votes saying, yes, I want to ban fireworks. And I don't have a horse in the race here with fireworks. I'm just speaking more about civil liberties than anything else. If we boil that down to simply an up or down vote on a plebiscite, what are the implications as far as our bylaws and our management of that going forward? What resources do we tie up with trying to chase down offenders related to that? And so these are the concerns I have related to just a blanket sort of up and down vote through an election plebiscite. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Bigger. Deputy Mayor Squire, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'm just trying to, in my mind, think about the last time or if we put a plebiscite in place for Quispamsis. The only one I can remember would be amalgamation.
I've been here 14 years, and this is the first, just to give you a little bit of my history.
Okay, Councillor Thompson saying all the years she's been, she's never seen a plebiscite. Okay, that helps me. I worry about lobbying for the answer. And of course, that's going to happen naturally. When you have a plebiscite, people are going to lobby yay or nay. And then it becomes a course of who's the most convincing, who is this, and who can, do this, the more vocal, and some people may not even know about it till they get to the ballot box and go, oh, I wonder what that means. So I don't know how it will be advertised prior to the election. Will they say Quispamsis is having a plebiscite? Get ready for it. Get ready to consider your options before you go to the ballot box and how you're going to vote on this plebiscite. So there's a lot of unknowns for me at this point. So with that in mind, I don't think I would be in favor of the motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Squire. Any other comments or questions? Councillor Luck, please.
I appreciate the feedback from council. I was on the fireworks committee, and I guess, the committee was struck to try and get an answer. And it is a very divisive topic. And because the committee itself couldn't come to an agreement and, taking into account our neighbors are doing it, who we share safety services with. And that was really why the committee at the end kind of defaulted to that's the recommendation. So, we don't have to take the recommendation. Because I was on the committee, I will be supporting the motion because that's what the committee ultimately agreed upon. But it's, I guess, up to council. But, and then we're still back at square one, not really knowing what the community really wants. So, we're kind of stuck in the middle.
Thank you, Councillor Luck. And yes, just to comment on what our neighbors are doing to the west of us, it is their intent to ban fireworks, but that has not come to fruition at this point. And I believe it's been on their table now for a number of months, if not the past year. So I'll go to Mr. Watson, please, our CAO.
Thank you, Your Worship, and through you, just maybe a procedural point to consider here is that we don't inadvertently blend the two issues of should we be asking for the public's opinion about fireworks versus this question tonight is how are we to ask? Because council had previously directed that we are to proceed with a plebiscite of one kind or another. So we were enacting that, but we were researching the options on how best to do that. So I would suggest if there is an interest in revisiting the decision, we could certainly do that. I think that would be by virtue of defeating this motion and going back and for a reconsider of your original guidance on the fireworks issue. But in today's environment, as we stand today, the direction of council was to investigate options for a plebiscite. You're being presented with those options and a recommendation to proceed with the one that bears no direct cost to the municipality. However, Deputy Mayor's comments are well taken. I suspect there are supporting costs to be borne regardless of how we administer this.
Councillor Olson, please. Thank you, Mr. Watson.
Thank you, Your Worship. The reason I supported and put forward the recommendation is that there wasn't a decision being made by council, so I think it'd be a fruitless exercise to send it back to council to go through all of this again. The plebiscite lets the people decide, and we're getting pros and cons from the people. Let the people decide, because we can't make a decision on council.
Thank you, Councillor Olson. So there's a motion on the table. Council accept option 2, authorize staff to submit to Elections New Brunswick a question to be placed on the ballot at the next municipal election date at May 11th, 2026. Please vote. Deputy Mayor is nay. Councillor Thompson? Okay, I got it. Okay. Motion carried 4-3 with the nays being Councillor Bigger, Deputy Mayor Scryer, and Councillor Thompson. Thank you. On to item number 9, correspondence. There is none. Number 10 is bylaws. 10A, Hampton Road, PIDs 00251843 and 302-40527 from single or two-family residential, R1, to integrated development, ID, rezoning application. Staff report from planning technologist Jennifer Jarvis. Welcome, Ms. Jarvis. The floor is yours.
Your worship, and through you to the council members, this is a municipal plan amendment that, for all intents and purposes, we should have probably done at the last meeting, because it's in relation to the 236 zoning bylaw amendment that council did give first and second reading to during that meeting. This is simply an amendment to the municipal plan future land use map, where we will, if it is approved by council and the zoning bylaw amendment is also approved and received third reading, that the note on this specific piece of land on the future land use map, which now is recognized as being residential, will be changed to that of the ID, oh my goodness, my words, integrated development zone. So that is what we're voting on this evening, to provide the first and second reading for that change to the future land use map.
Thank you, Councillor Olson.
Thank you, Worship. I'd move first reading be given to proposal municipal plan bylaw amendment number 054-09.
It's been moved by Councillor Olson, seconded by Councillor Bigger. On the question, please vote. Motion carried 7-0. Councillor Luck, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'd like to make a motion that the second reading be given to proposed municipal plan bylaw amendment number 054-09.
Thank you. It's been moved by Councillor Luck, seconded by Councillor Olson. On the question, please vote. Deputy Mayor? Yes, in favor. Motion carried 7-0. Thank you very much, Ms. Jarvis. Item number 11, new business, ratification of email poll nominating committee recommendations with the staff report there. That may not have been on your agendas earlier, but we were able to upload that. Councillor Bigger, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. I move council ratify the email poll of January 6, 2025, accepting the recommendations of the nominating committee.
Thank you. It's been moved by Councillor Bigger, seconded by Councillor Luck. On the question, Councillor Luck.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'm more so a process question or a request. I'm wondering if it would be possible, again, for future, is if we could get, again, like just even a line or two when the nominating committee makes recommendations for council in terms of, you know, again, a short bio. I'm guessing that the people that are applying for positions on committees and councils, you know, provide some information. It would just be nice to have that information as council because all we have is the name of the person. So anyway, if that would be possible, I'm not sure if it is, but I think it'd be very helpful when the nominations come through.
Okay, and so you'd want to know some background on the person
Like-
regardless of what committee they're on,
Well,
or?
more so just, I mean, I know that the nominating committee would have said, okay, well, this is a good person, a good fit because of these skills. So even if it was, again, a line or two about the skills they bring to the committee that they're going to be put on, or, you know, just a bit of a bio, but it doesn't have to be a huge make work project, just like a line or two, just to put a bit of context. So it's not just a name for us. It'd be very helpful, at least for me. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to go to Mr. Watson for this. Mr. Watson.
Thank you, Your Worship, and through you, I appreciate the question very much. And I think there's something there that we might be able to do. I'm just offering a word of caution about that from a privacy perspective, where this is an open broadcast session and it's prior to the decision to accept. We might want to be just a little, we want to be deliberate, I think, about how much we would share about a person's biographical information in an open session prior to them being ratified and or offering permission for us to do so. So I think there's a couple process pieces to just be careful of, but we can take that on, for sure.
Thank you, Mr. Watson. On the question, please vote. No, we're good. Mary's in favor.
Did she say she's okay?
Motion carried 7-0. Thank you. And item number 2, recommendations from nominating committee, report to council will be, okay, so we've got that one. Councillor Olson.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'd move council accept the recommendations of the nominating committee as proposed.
It's been moved by Councillor Olson, seconded by Councillor Luck. On the question, please vote. Yep. Motion carried 7-0. Item number 12 is reports. Those were there for your reading, for your viewing information. Item number 13, business arising from the Committee of the Whole. There was none. That motion was carried. 7-0, right? Okay. And item number 14 is adjournment. It's been moved by Councillor Olson, seconded by Deputy Mayor Scryer. On the question, please vote. Motion carried 7-0. Thank you, everyone. Good night and stay warm.
Thanks, Your Worship.
Thank you, Kurt. Thank you, Councillor Donovan.